In this tutorial I'm going to go through how to create a teacher account on WaSeala. The teacher creation option is not always enabled on the website. When there are available vacancies, it's reopened for new teachers to register. A new teacher starts creating an account by filling up the details in this page. First, fill in the name field with the full name. Our teacher name in this tutorial is Rana Omar. The email address is a mandatory field that has to be populated. Now choose a username. If the username is already used by another user, an error message will pop up to indicate that. The phone number can be skipped as it's not mandatory. It's useful for us to contact the teacher when needed. The password has to be 6 characters with 1 uppercase letter and 1 number. Now, after filling up all the details, click on Register Now. A pop-up message will indicate that the account was successfully created. Click OK and you'll be directed to the login page. This time enter your newly created username and corresponding password. First time you log in to your newly created account, a setup page will be displayed. The teacher has to populate basic information for the account to be usable. Start by entering the first and last names. Select language. This is the preferred language of communication. Non-mandatory fields has no star sign associated with it and can be skipped. If the email address is Gmail, then choose the email type as Gmail. This will allow WaSeala to send calendar events to Google Calendar. So when the teacher has a class, a reminder will be sent to her on her cell phone. So it is preferred to provide a Gmail account to take advantage of this feature. The country field is populated automatically by the website using the IP address used to access the website. But please double-check it's correct, as this field is important. Select the gender from the drop-down menu. This is also important to set the profile for the teacher according to his or her gender. The time zone is one of the most important fields. The main website functionality depends on setting this field correctly, as teachers and students reside in different time zones. WaSeala uses the time zone field to convert from one time zone to another. This field is also populated automatically based on the IP address, but should be double-checked by the teacher. Some teachers prefer to teach students from specific gender based on their age. Max male and female fields indicates the maximum student age from each gender. Skype or Zoom are used by teachers to provide the actual online classes. Teachers should provide both a Skype and a Zoom account. At this stage, it's not mandatory to set up these accounts, so can be skipped till later. The primary program preferred should be chosen here, and it's either Zoom or Skype. Most teachers prefer Zoom as the primary method of communication. The start time and end time indicates what portion of the day the teacher will be able to view in her own or the student calendars. So if the teacher decides to provide classes from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., then she should set these fields accordingly. This is only used to show the teacher the period of the day of interest to her instead of showing her the entire 24 hours by default. If these fields are left empty, they will be populated to cover the full 24 hours. Booking in advance is the minimum number of hours in advance for a student to be able to book a class in the teacher calendar. So if set to 6 hours, it means a student can book the class 6 hours or more before the class starts. This gives the teacher enough time to be ready for the class. If the teacher is willing to accept new students, she should select Accepting New Students. Send rules email indicates that an email with the class rules be sent to the student when he books his first class with the teacher. The class rules is defined by the teacher in the class rules field. Choose Enable Reviews if the teacher wants parents to provide star rating and reviews for her. A parent or student can provide review after he attends at least 2 classes with the teacher. Now fill in the class rules. It can be any rules the teacher require for her students to follow. About Me is important as students will see it when searching for teachers. So make it highlight all the qualifications and experience you have. Rest of the fields are optional but should be considered as it provides more details on the teachers and might attract parents or students to enroll in your classes. After completing all the mandatory fields, click Submit. You'll be redirected to your profile page. You can change your profile picture or pick a different avatar. The hourly rate is determined by the administration and will be set according to what has been agreed upon. The monthly credit and number of classes given are also displayed. You can list students enrolled in your classes by clicking on the student list. You can also search for students by search student. Please check out our other tutorials for more information about other features useful for teacher accounts. Thank you for your interest in WaSeala.